seem so fucked up. Find our way out of this problem. When all of the light fades into the night, all the simple things will make us feel alright.
Welcome to ILoveGay today. And what you just heard was a clip from the new single, Dance Again. And you're never going to guess who it's from. It's from Felipe Rose, one of the original members of the Village People. How are you, Felipe?
I'm terrific. Happy Pride. And I find that our Pride season continues well after the summer's over.
It does. As they say, it's Pride 365 year round.
That's right. Exactly. That's right. I'm terrific. How are you?
I'm doing great. And you're with us from where? Asbury Park?
From Asbury Park. I'm up in my house in Neptune. The condo rents out in the summer, which is pretty nice. Well, it rents out for longer than that.
I love it. But that song kind of gives us context. I mean, you were out there in such a bold way with one of my absolute favorite songs from the 70s, Go West. Actually, if we started belting that out from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, people would tune out right away. But it was like
the lyrics are beautiful.
It's such a great song. And so between that and YMCA and all of it, but you have such a history there. And I think people have always wondered like what you've been up to ever since. So this is great to see what you're doing.
Well, thank you again. Go West, actually, I love how it became, it was released for the Middle America and commercial and the commercial radio. Wow, massive thunderstorm coming. I don't know if you heard that thunder. Yeah. And I love how then through Priscilla and the Pet Shop Boys, how it became a gay pantheon, a song for the ages, for our community, because it's actually a beautiful song. It's a song of hope, and finding the new place in our lives where we're going in a different direction, a new direction. Go west, life is peaceful there. Go west in the open air. Go west where the skies are blue. Go west, this is what we'll do. And then together, and but the funny thing is, you know how many times you sing as a backup singer? That was the verse the lead singer sings. What we sing together. That's it. That's all we say. And it's about 48 times. Together, 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 together. So it's sort of a little redundant,
Yeah, but it worked, and it
did. It was good fun. I mean, it was a strange time in my life. When you're thrown together through people that you don't even know, and you all set out as young men into this new dimension, which is the music industry, and good luck with your life. It's not fun. It's a nasty business. Yeah. You have to learn how to navigate the waters on that one.
Well, especially you. I mean, what's interesting is that I don't think everybody realizes, I think we're all becoming more and more educated about history of LGBT community between Stonewall and when you watch Pose on FX and all these different stories about what life was like kind of in the 70s and early 80s there in New York. But you were a part of all that. In fact, that's kind of how you got discovered for Village People, was you were working at a gay club there in New York as well.
And and just like Pose, where it deals with the backdrop of the runways and the houses of extravaganza and this and that. The Anvil was a notorious club in New York City where it was frequent by the gay community that left 12 West, Flamingo, all the clubs. They would migrate down there to have more fun into the wee hours of the night, because that's where they could stay in this club. I think you have to buy a membership, just like 12 West. You have to buy a membership, and it was very loose. You could actually bring a girl in to these membership clubs. Flamingo was very exclusive. You can't bring a woman. No, they just didn't want that. Then you have Fire Island, but the Anvil was a sex club that basically they needed dancers for just the visual. We were not allowed to
Yeah.
to what's
No
the word?
touching. No touching.
No, no, none of that. And so it was there where on a on a fateful night, I met the ex-producer, the late Jacques Morelli, who first saw my ankles, my feet, my moccasins with sleigh bells, and as he looked up, there was this like oiled, sweating, tight, naked body with a loincloth over the groin area, a necklace, and a full headdress. And he thought he had seen. He said Jacques Lacour. He said it was like an apparition of a god, a gay god.
Yes. Yes.
And he told me this concept of this group that he wanted to work on. First, it was going to be sound for the recording he was working on, which was the first album. But then he changed his mind like 2 weeks later and said, "You're still coming in to lay percussion down and sing on some of the songs, but we're going to create a group."
Wow.
I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah." So I went to an office on the east side. After the first album was complete, I shot the cover of the Village album of Village People by Village People, black and white, with only models from the village. And so I was the only one in my gear.
Yeah.
Being biracial, that was my thing. That was the way I separated myself, just in understanding who I was, because it took a lot of balls for me to go into a pop group, a pop disco dance group, being gay, being a biracial, being half naked. You add it and stack it up, and you list it, and that was not supposed to be accepted in mainstream entertainment. But yes, here I was with the long hair, indigenous, biracial, whatever. And so when they told me the the concept of the group, and they opened the book, and there were characters drawn in, and I was, of course, detailed with like a little microphone. And I looked and I said, "Oh, okay. What is this?" They said, "It's the new Village People.
Yeah.
We are doing a new group with you." And I said, "This is a terrible idea." I did. I said, "This sucks.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding? You're going to sell this?" But I figured, the right place at the right time. I'm an artist, struggling, surviving in New York, working professionally, and getting myself around New York City. Has a New York fixture as well.
Yeah.
And I said, let's give this a try. So the first album stayed on the charts, dance charts, on the Billboard dance charts for 57 weeks. San Francisco, Hollywood, Fire Island, and the song Village People, which kind of is haunting with a native drum. Village People, now is the time, is more haunting with a message.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that became the backdrop for that summer during the Anita Bryant Save My Children campaign, which backfired.
Wow. But you really were like just part of the whole network and infrastructure. All the folks that we read about or know about, Marsha P. Johnson and all that, they were all part of your life back then.
They were all part of my life. And I would leave the Anvil and with my dance bag, get paid, tie up my hair or braid it or something because it's really long. And going up Christopher Street, I would see Marsha. She was always so sweet to me. And she would, "Hi, Felipe." And I would say to her, "Come on, let's go have breakfast." Sylvia would join us, and we'd go to the Pink Teacup on Bleecker. If you don't know what the Pink Teacup is, try to imagine the movie The Blues Brothers with Aretha Franklin in the diner with the house coat on and the slippers. So times 5 or 6 of these ladies dressed like that, throwing menus at you, saying, "What you gonna have, sugar?" So it was really fascinating. I really don't. I look back at my life in wonderment, and the fact that I'm blessed that I'm still here. Although the late 70s, whereas disco waned, we went right into the AIDS epidemic. And that was quite a scary moment in time. So just to survive that and come through with that, I think is a blessing.
I hear you. But then you fast forward to today, and we survived the pandemic and everything going on. But what was the inspiration for kind of coming out now here with Dance Again, this new single at this time?
I'm glad that you brought that up because that's exactly what was happening. I found myself March. I was invited to do the ultimate disco cruise on the celebrity cruise with 3,500 passengers out of Miami with 2,700 crew, leaving Miami, Key West, Bahamas, and back around again. And so I had such fun. There were 24 acts. You two, Fran Jolie, Linda Clifford, Martha Wash, Anita Ward, the Tramps, Denny Terrio. I mean, it went on and on and on. And I was late at night in the club, the Studio 54 restaurant of the ship, and they converted it into Studio 54. And the stage was 3 tiers, and at the very top, you had legendary Nikki Siano from Studio 54, and I did a 20-minute set with dancers. And at the time, I had the new version tribute. I opened my show with Dance With Me, Peter Brown's Dance With Me. If you're feeling sad and blue, come on and dance with me. You know that one.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, a Small Village People medley. And coming home, everyone was like there that final night, that last evening, heading home back to Miami, which was the white party that everyone had,
Yeah.
and all the acts were there. Really were there to support me and see me solo, loving it. I decided I had so much fun. I think I'm going to make my show longer.
Yeah.
And then we went into close down.
Yeah.
We went into the lockdown. So the Brooklyn visit to the Studio 54 exhibit, that didn't happen. And then disco made a huge comeback with Dua Lipa, Levitation, BK7, Dynamite, all the Donna Summer remixes, and then everyone gravitated all over on the World Wide Web to disco. Suddenly, TikTok disco was huge. And then riding through the loss of many friends, and coming out of PTSD when I lost my producer in August of last year. Coming out of PTSD, it was enough to stop feeling sorry for myself, take the moment, live through it, and write about it. And I wanted to write. And on my birthday of this year, I went into the recording studio with a new producer, young, 24 years old, Tyler Safrid. And I wanted him to give me a dance sound, but not old throwback the way it would sound normally doing old disco. But this is more fast forward, new disco. And the message was to dance again.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, that's the one thing we didn't get to do in 2020.
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody will make it an anthem.
They should. I mean, you've got it everywhere. I know it's on iTunes and Spotify, and
Thank you.
You have emerged
It's
into the
exciting.
21st century with this.
Excuse me?
You're in the 21st century with this, with this great music, and you've got it available on all the different platforms that you never used to be able to find before.
I know that's what's really wild. Wow, the thunder's really it's shaking the house. I did that coming out of what my struggle was from so many people that I lost. And one of my backup singers, I was going through a really rough patch after losing another legendary DJ, Warren Gluck, in June. And suddenly I was like, why me? Why am I losing so many friends? And she said, it's not about you.
Yeah.
You have lived life like I have not. You have traveled and seen the world like I have not. So therefore, the roots in your tree are really deep in the earth, and your branches are very wide across the earth. So you know more people than I do. And that clicked it right back into perspective. Let's really face the fact that I'm blessed and that I have to remember them dearly and then live life now more than ever.
Yeah. I love it. Very inspiring. And anything
Thank
exciting
you.
here on the horizon for the rest of the year?
Well, right now we're getting ready this Saturday to do the music video.
Yeah.
And then September, I think that once the video comes out Labor Day weekend, I'm going to just give myself middle of September. I have one or two shows that are on the calendar. But right now I want to see what happens once the video comes out, and the video will give it new life around the world, because COVID is not on vacation.
No.
We have the variants now, so I just hope people will accept the song and listen to it more. And then in September, I'm just gonna do a drive away vacation to an art gallery for a week and a half with my new friend, and paint for a week.
Yeah, yeah.
And do nothing but paint. And then in the evening, of course, be a gracious host or be a guest up there in upstate New York, and just enjoy and do something different to walk away from all the work that's been done since Memorial Weekend.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I'm really looking forward to being able to connect in the real world here soon, when we're only about 2 hours apart.
Yeah, and then you have my doors open for you, and a guest. I have the upstairs with it's hooked up. There's a nice queen size bed there and a nice futon. But also I have the Disco Chronicles on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
The Felipe Rose official YouTube channel, and I basically pull the curtains back on the era to discuss it with people that played a part in the development and the creation and living with disco in their lives. What does it mean to them, and why is it that disco still has a huge grasp on culture today around the world?
Yeah. I'll make sure to link to all that from the YouTube video we post, so that they can find that. And I'm looking forward to that video coming out this year.
Well, again, I love New York. I'm gay. I love the pink, your newspaper. I'm getting all of your what are they called? Your
emails or the
emails, and I'm reading through everything and all the insightful things that everything from politics into what's going on in the community. So that's nice. While I'm on the bike at the gym or something, I just pop up my phone and then I read that. So it's very informative. I knew about you guys for years now. How long has the Pink media been around?
Yeah, Pink Media started around 2008, because before that we were a website, gaywire.com. So we started Gaywire back in the 90s.
That's it. Okay.
So
I've been aware of Pink Media for maybe the last 5 years.
Yeah, excellent.
And always at every great gay pride.
Yeah.
You see the banners and you see the logos, but you don't see guys like you wearing a very cool shirt like that.
I wore it just for you.
It is. Wow, it's really, and I would have known. I would have had to set that off. I'm in my gym shorts and my a painting I did on a t-shirt. I'm just at home relaxing because it's very hot here.
Yeah. I know. I could hear all the thunderstorms rolling behind you, and I think we're going to be getting those soon too.
Yeah, because it's heading south, and that's where you are at. Well, I want to thank you again. I want everyone to have a safe, terrific summer, a safe summer, and please remember that COVID is not on vacation, and that even if we're vaccinated, doesn't mean if you catch something that you won't die, but you'll get sick, and we may have to go maybe the boosters. I'm in touch with a lot of friends that are in the medical field, and they're just a bit concerned with the flare-ups. But isn't it interesting that all those flare-ups are down in the South?
I know.
Oh well,
know.
it's like two countries,
Yep, it's going to be going like that for a little while here.
I was very impressed with Pride in New York. Very impressed, because every place you were going to go into, you had to either scan your vaccine card or have it, proof of it, to see. If not, you couldn't get into the clubs.
Yeah. No, they were pretty.
And they were very strict about it.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Then several drag queens came by with mobile carts, mobile flatbeds with DJ equipment and blasting the streets. So the party was everywhere.
That's New York.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Well, thanks again for being here with us and sharing a bit of your story. It's been great to connect. I think we got.
Thank you.
All right, you. Take care now.
Thanks so much. Bye.